Peace and love. It's Latif Bey. I stand squarely affirmed upon my oath to the 5 points of light: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Divine honors to Noble Drew Ali in the most divine and national movement of the world. Here I sit again. Peace and love to all faithful Moors and active Moors. Peace to all Moors that assisted me and got me out of the streets for today. Today I am not hungry. Today I am in need of nothing but your attention. What started me on my journey was, why did the Prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. When I read that, I began to wonder, who am I? And you all know my story of my mother and all that. And it made me go out into the universe and find out exactly who I was. I found out my nationality. I found out where my family came from. They come from Stenik, Austria. Then they moved over towards the Moor lands, which is on the coast of Cornwall. Now, when I spoke to my family in Cornwall, and you ask them what is their nationality, and it's, what is your nationality, they will tell you they're Cornish. And when I spoke to my family over here who came from Cornwall, they will say they are Cornish Americanic. And I never heard Americanic before. I was like, well, what is Americanic? And they stated, well, we're not Americans because we come from Cornwall. However, we naturalized here, and we, instead of calling ourselves Americans, we call ourselves Americanic. Or instead of saying Cornish American, you will say Kernowick. Again, like I said in the previous video, my family came over here on the boat Stella in 1865, and they immigrated and naturalized through Ellis Islands. So the Prophet did good. And how did the Prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? However, the Prophet is a universal prophet. So that means he'll reach all brothers and sisters of all different nationalities, because he's a universal prophet. Because the duty of a prophet, what is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifest in flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. So that's nations. That's multiple nations. I have some stories to tell. As some of you may know, you know what happened a month and a half ago. I've been uprooted, and basically what you would call genocide, violation of Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, states that everyone has a right to shelter, food, clothing, and medical care. Well, I do not have a permanent home at this moment, or permanent shelter. However, I'm staying strong, and I am not defeated. A Moor made a comment on my last post that I've seen that look before from people who are defeated. Again, I am not defeated, because I have assistance. I am ipso jure Moorish subject, and I'm under the protection of the Moorish nation. So I am not defeated. I also know I know thyself. I know who I am. If I was asleep, then I would be defeated, but I know who I am. When I wake up in the morning, I know who I am. I know where my family comes from. So I am not defeated. Even though my bloodline nation has abandoned me and took advantage of me since the day of my born day, I am not defeated, because I made it through the fire, and I know who I am. What did I say? What did I say a long time ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago? I said, I have not, will not, nor will I ever engage in birthright theft of the Moorish nation. And I sit today still active in telling you I stand squarely affirmed upon my oath to the 5 points of light: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So I am not defeated. Again, honors to all who assisted in protecting me and getting me out of the streets for today. And I seen videos of Moors that was just looking back to see how far that I was making videos, or how far they can see me, you know, basically telling the Asiatics, you know, their nationality. And the videos go back to maybe 2013, but I've been doing this since 2010. There's a lot of videos that's been deleted that I didn't delete. I've noticed that. One of the first videos I did was I walked into a Sharif's department, where the ones that are sitting in those seats, and I was recording, and I believe I was pulled over or something, and I asked for the recording of when I was pulled over, and he stood up and pulled his gun, and he pointed at me. He said, "You better get out of here." And videos like that, they're deleted, and I don't know what happened to them. I don't have them on any kind of hard drive, but this is, I've been active since 2010. And I remember I was one of the things that woke me up was I would go meet a sister every day and walk to meet her halfway, and I would walk down Cherry Lane, and at the end of Cherry Lane was the Morrison Lodge, and behind that was the Shriners Temple, like I showed you. But I'd walk by there every day and never noticed that the fez hanging from the top of the door. But one day I was going through videos, and I came across this man with the funny hat, and he was speaking of people stole his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and you all know who that is. That's Brother Taj, Master Teacher Taj, Grand GS Taj. And I seen this man with the funny hat, and I don't know why, but I started listening to him. And when the first things I heard him say was that slavery went from being liability of separate masters and became ran by states. So it became separate plantations, and the whole state became plantations. And when he started speaking like that, it gave me chills, and it sounded scary, but I knew what was up when he started speaking like that. I always knew there was things wrong, but when I started hearing him speak, and he was speaking, but he was laying the documents down, shooting them up on the wall with the projector. He wasn't just talking. He would go through the document, and then he'd start explaining. And I knew I found something that was rare. I mean, the information was 10 years, 20 years ahead of its, really pretty much almost over 100 years ahead of its time, because Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which was another thing, was Noble Drew Ali stood out to me because everybody was calling themselves Negro, black, or colored. And there was this one man that stood out and stepped to the side and said, "That's not what I am." And that was very intriguing to me, that somebody didn't follow in the line. It stood out, and it almost illuminated to me, and I started receiving my renaissance. So yeah, I seen that man with the funny hat, and he was speaking things that I could feel my mind connecting like a Rubik's Cube, starting to connect the colors. And I knew what I was hearing was art. What is art? Odd is Allah. What is truth? Truth is odd. So yeah, I'm not defeated. I've been through a lot. And can you Moors go through that? A lot of Moors go to their 9 to 5s and they come home to their mortgages or wherever they're paying rent and they have security. But if all that's taken away, can you still sit up in the morning and still have that same intensity and that same self-determination if it's all taken away? I'm glad that this is happening to me now, because I know once I get through it, I know that I can always go through it. So yeah, can you be active when them wheels stop turning and when everything's taken away? Can you be active? You need to think about that when you sit in your lazy boy or when you sit in security and you think that you're active. Can you still get up every day and dress the best that you can and feel the best that you can and keep that roller coaster of emotions under control and just know that Allah moves this movement? He guides the movement. That's why I liked the Ishmael tribe back in the days when I read about them. They didn't stay in one spot. And that's what Noble Drew Ali did too. He made sure that there was Moors in every state so people can constantly move, and there's always beds and there's always different shelters that people can go to and keep moving. It's not like that now. A lot of Moors stay for themselves and they wouldn't open up their houses. I remember Brother Cujo said he went to a Moor's house and he opened his home up to him, his shower and everything. And Brother Cujo said when he got done taking the shower, he wiped all the shower down and all that. You know what I'm saying? Moors got to stick together and open their resources up to each other so people can constantly move through different territories. Moors don't do that now. And that's what Noble Drew Ali did. He had different places set up so Moors can constantly move. If they want to go somewhere, they go. And now it's even better because we have more technology now. He was using the Moor's voice in the newspapers just like how people use Facebook now, man. He was thinking that far ahead, you know, putting out all the information of what was going on in different territories so people can read and be connected, know the different appellations of different Moors in different territories and all that. We have it better now and easier. We can send an email, we can send a text, DM or whatever, and we're still not as active as Noble Drew Ali was back in the days. We're still not there. And when I say we, it's because I'm active in this movement. So I've already put it on the record. I come from Austria, you know, and also Cornwall, Cornish, Americanic. But I'm active in this movement because I'm in this territory. And I was taken advantage of and abandoned by my own nation. But then this nation came and scooped me up and showed me who I am. It made me be intrigued and interested in knowing the importance of saving thyself, you know. So yeah, I'm not defeated. My mind is still turning like it always has. I just know that I need to be safer with what I say. But I also need to be helped by the people that I need to be assisted and helped by the people that I'm assisting and helping, you know. Because they're going to go at me harder than they'll go after a Moor because I'm them. So I said that in a video years ago too. You ever think that they're going to go at me harder because I'm letting y'all know what's going on? And I mean, who cares what I say, man? I'm just one person, but a lot of Moors come to me and ask me questions because they're not going to believe their own brother. They're going to believe me before they believe their own brother. So peace and love, Moors. I am not defeated.